I have an art market in literally a week, and I got some stuff last minute to prepare. Leave it to me to wait till the last minute to like get everything together. Well, not everything, but a lot of the things. So I'm gonna unbox some of the stuff I got to prep for the market, and let's see what we got. Okay, so first box, we got some card stock. These are going to be for my affirmation cards and bookmarks. We have some paper for my art prints, 2 packs of that. I already have 1 pack that I bought before that I've been using to print out my art prints. I'm going to do 8x10 art prints and 4x6 art prints. So I have 2 different sizes. And this is 8x10 paper. And the printer that I have prints borderless. So that's really helpful. So I don't have to do any trimming on these. But for the 4x6 art prints, I'm going to print 2 per sheet. So I'm just going to use 1 paper type for the art prints. And then I have the sleeves. I have the clear sleeves to put the art prints in. These are for 8x10 prints. And these are for the small 4x6 prints just to protect them so they don't get messed up. And for the 8x10 prints, I have this chipboard that's going to go behind it as like a backing. So pretty much that's how that's going to go for the art prints so they don't like get bent. I'm not going to do a chipboard for the 4x6 prints because they are smaller, and I think they'll be fine without it. I also got this corner cutter thing just to round the edges for the affirmation cards that I have. And this one's really cool because it also has a hole puncher on it as well. That's cool. This little thing. That's fun. Let's get the next box. This is huge. You guys can't even see how big this is. If I could measure the box, it's literally like my torso almost. So these are my mugs. So that's interesting. I feel like they just tossed all these mugs in here, which is odd. I feel like they just tossed them all in here. So I have to go through each one and check them to make sure they're all good, but they're all individually wrapped. Let me put this on the ground so you can actually see what we're doing. I have 3 designs, and I only ordered 5 of each design, just like a limited amount of mugs because I don't know how they're going to sell. I feel like most of the things that I'm going to be selling are the art prints. I have 9 different art prints that I'm going to bring in the 8x10 size. And for each of those prints, I'm going to do like 5 prints of each design, if that makes sense. So as opposed to having like a large amount of a few designs, I'm going to go the other way and do like a lot of designs and just have like a small amount of each. And the 4x6 prints, I'm going to have 8 different designs. Most of them are going to be a completely different design than the 8x10s because I want a lot of variety. And I think I'm going to do maybe 6 or 8 of each 4x6 design. That makes sense. And for the affirmation cards, I'm going to do 12 designs. And I think I'll do, how many did I say I was going to do? I can't remember. I have to look at my spreadsheet. So that's the product list. 8x10 art prints, 4x6 art prints, affirmation cards, which would be, I don't know the size. It's like 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, something like that. So let me go ahead. I have to go through and check each mug just to make sure like they're all good. So I'm going to pull all the mugs out. I love this 100% recycled. Another reason I love how these came is because when it's time to package them at the event, I don't have to buy like craft paper or tissue paper or anything to protect the mugs. I'm just going to put them back in these boxes before I bag them up and give them to the customer. So that'll be good. Keeps them nice and safe. Why am I so out of breath? So let me stack these up so you guys can see them. I don't know if you guys can fully see, but I'll try to tilt the camera down so you can see them. All my mugs. So let's see. So I'm going to open these. The camera's crooked now. Okay, well, that's fine. So I'm going to open these one by one and check all of them to make sure they're in good condition. The pink mugs that I'm doing, I had ordered a sample previously, but I wasn't happy with the color that I had chose It's like once you see it printed, it looks different. I wasn't super happy with the color, so I decided to adjust the color and go with like a lighter shade of pink, so it kind of matches a little better with the color of the mug. And I don't know what it looks like because I was like, I don't have time to wait for a new sample, so I just took a chance and I just ordered them. So I hope they're fine. I'm gonna try to open them as carefully as possible so they still look nice when it's time for me to bag them. So, did I open this the right way? Yes. Why do I feel like I'm having trouble getting this? What? I want to make sure I open this in a way where I can reuse these boxes. So I'm trying not to mess them up, but I feel like I'm doing this wrong because it would be nice and more eco-friendly if I can just use these reusable boxes. Okay. So the reason why I really wanted to reuse these boxes is because of how they're packaged and they protect the art and they protect the mug pretty well. So if you open this like this, the mugs are in there. And then try to remember how they were packaged and repackage them. So that is going to take some time. I'll check one here on camera. They still have some of the sublimation tape on there, it looks like. Yeah, I made a good choice by changing that pink color. So this one is my latest design. I call this one the prize. So it just says, "You are the prize, babe." I love that. I like the color. I made the right decision when it came to like changing that color. They look really cool. It matches a lot better. Let me see if I can find the other mug so I can show you the difference. Hold on. This was the first sample that I did. As you see, the pink is a lot darker and it doesn't really match the inside and the handle as well. I feel like this one matches so much better, don't you guys think? Do you see? That feels like more cohesive, so I'm glad I changed the color here. It's 4:44. I love that. I feel like that's a good sign. Real quick, I think one thing that I'm going to do once I open these and check them, I'm just going to mark them with this little mark so I know which one is which. So I'm going to put a P for pink, Y for yellow, O for orange on each of these little things. And I got some tape. I'm just going to tape them back up. And once we get to the event, we can just unbox them there and find some way to store these boxes so we can repackage them when people purchase them. Okay, so I'm opening my first orange one here to show that. So, dang it. The color is off on these. And I'm pretty sure I thought I updated this before I printed them. But you see how the color is slightly off? You might not be able to see it on camera very well. It's slightly different than how I was hoping it would be. I'm going to show you the actual mug. This is the mug that I sell in my Etsy shop. This is the design I thought I put through when I placed my order, but I think I used the wrong version. And this is, actually it's not that bad. The main reason I lightened it before is so you can see more of the details and to make it a more overall brighter design. So I just like increased the brightness throughout, but you can see the difference, how this closely matches the orange inside versus this one. So I think it's fine, but I am a little concerned. There's nothing I can do now. The market is in a week and I was moving too fast and I should have double checked the file. It looked fine on the computer, but I didn't double check it to make sure I was using the right template. So I think it's fine. And I think the thing is that I'm so used to this design and I know what it's supposed to look like that I'm not going to freak out because it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I will say one of the things about using Printful for some of my prints, I do notice that when it comes to them printing shades of brown, I feel like it loses a lot of like the reds and the yellow or different color undertones in their shades of brown sometimes, where you kind of like lose the details. I think it's fine and I actually still like it because she's still really beautiful and I still think you can see it. It's just different and that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. She's beautiful and I love this mug and I think it's fine. And I know it's gonna resonate with other people. So I'm fine. I'm happy. It's just different than my other design, the main design that I sell on my Etsy shop is slightly different, but it still looks good. Learning as I go. This one's good. This one is Start Your Day with Gratitude. This is literally, I think, one of the first mug designs I ever did. Obviously, it's yellow, my favorite color, if you guys couldn't tell. So this one's fine. Real quick, I just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff I printed so far. And with the printer, I was really struggling with my new printer and trying to print the art prints. And they all kept coming out the same. These are like my test prints. And this is with that Epson matte paper. And this is what I did with just regular printer paper. And I couldn't get it right. You probably can't see it that well on the screen, but the color is not exactly right. But I did eventually figure it out, and I fixed my settings. And this was like my last test print that I did. So if you look at that versus that, it's like night and day. So one of the reasons why I feel like in this last week before the market that I have like so much to do is because I spent a lot of time trying to get the test prints right. And it was mainly user error. So, but this is the test prints. This is another one I made just to kind of see how all the colors fit before I print them. These are 4 of the 8x10s that I'm going to print. And these down here, I think are going to be like the 4x6 prints. And then these are some other test prints I did that weren't quite right as far as like the signature or cropping and things like that. Try not to be a perfectionist because I think that's what's taking me so long to finish everything. But it's really important to me to put out products that are good, you know? Like I want the quality to be right. I don't want to just put stuff out just to do it. Like I want to make sure it looks good, and it's really important to me that quality is on point. So I'm using this bin here. As you can see, it's fairly empty. I thought I would probably need to use more of this, but so far these are the prints that I have printed. This little stack doesn't seem like much, but I have most of my 8x10 prints ready. This one is called Plant Goddess, but I'm going to go ahead and package them up since I have my clear sleeves and the chipboard. So I think it's probably best if I start packaging some of these up. And for the 4x6 prints that I did, this was my first test print. I was going to try to fit 3 on a page, but if you notice some of the cropping, I don't know if you can notice like with the signature is a little, see how it's kind of cropped on the edge? What I noticed when printing borderless is it crops a little bit on the sides and the bottom. It almost like crops the image. So you have to be mindful not to have anything too close to the edge. And I know that from other printing, but this crops way more than I expected. So instead, I'm going to go with 2 per sheet and just trim them. So this one is Find Your Inner Peace. These are 2 of the 4x6 prints that I'm going to be selling. So that's it. I just wanted to show that real quick. I guess I'll start packaging some of the prints up either today or tomorrow, just so I have that done. But like I said, I have a week to get everything done. I'm not stressing. I got this. Okay, real quick, I forgot to show my business cards that I got made. I got these made a little while ago. I was going to attend an event. I ended up not going because I wasn't feeling well. but I like rushed to get them printed at FedEx, and I never used them. So I'm gonna put them on my art market table and probably in some of the bags. Or actually, I think I'm gonna do thank you cards. I designed some thank you cards in Canva. I still need to print them. So that's another thing I had to make sure I do. I had to print the thank you cards to put them in the bags. But these are my business cards. I know it says Art Mugs Clay. I initially was gonna sell some of my clay pieces at the market, but I decided against it. I feel like once I thought about it, I realized that I didn't want to cause any extra stress. And at least for now, I kind of want to keep clay as something that's not monetized. It's a hobby of mine that I actually like really enjoy, and I don't want to add any stress to it, if that makes sense. So I just saw 1, 2, 3 on my little timer. So that feels like alignment. And feels like I made the right choice, but I didn't want to like take away from, not that it's not meaningful doing my other stuff, but I feel like sometimes when you monetize certain things, it changes it a little bit. And I didn't want to, especially with this being kind of like a high pressure situation, with me not having a ton of time before this event, I didn't want to add any extra stress and feeling like I have to create just for the event. I think that's what I'm trying to say. When I make my art and I do my art prints and I make my designs, I feel like I create from my heart, from my spirit, and then I'm able to put them out into the world. But I feel like if I would have tried to like get a bunch of clay pieces done before this event, I would have just been creating for the market and creating to sell. And I don't want to do that. I feel like before I would get really, really caught up in creating to sell, if that makes sense, creating to make money, creating products. And it's not about making products for me. I think selling it is just a byproduct of me actually just creating things from my heart. And I don't want to get caught up in like the whole capitalist idea of like creativity. So that's why it's really important to me now to just kind of create the things that I want to create, things that feel good to me. And then if I decide that I want to release it or sell prints or products with these designs, that's another thing. But for me, I create because like I need to, not because I'm trying to make money necessarily. That's kind of something I fell into before when I was doing Magik Jems, and I kind of had to step away a little bit and kind of like recalibrate and figure out like what am I actually trying to do with my art and my creativity. And one of those things I realized is that I have to be an artist first and not focus so much on like being a business owner, entrepreneur. It's like, no, like I'm an artist first. The business stuff comes secondary. So no clay this market. Maybe in the future, if I'm in a different space, we'll see. But for now, yeah. So this is the front. And then this is the back with my little QR code. Today is 6 days before the art market. So today I'm going to work on printing out the rest of my art prints and packaging them, since I have my art print sleeves and backing now. And I also got some new packages in the mail today. So I'm going to go ahead and check that after. I'll do that after. And we'll see what we got. So yeah, let's get to printing. I got all my files ready for my art prints and my affirmation cards. I wanted to make sure I had all my files set up correctly so they would print correctly. If you guys saw my printer video, then you will know that it took a lot of time for me to figure out the correct settings to get all of my prints to come out at the most optimum quality, but I finally did it. And then it was time for me to finally trim my art prints. And as I was going through the process of trimming my art prints, I realized that it was something that I really, really enjoyed doing. I haven't trimmed my artwork since probably grad school, honestly, which was a while ago. And when I was in grad school, I feel like things were a lot different. I was usually prepping for projects or trying to hit a deadline. So I feel like things were a lot more chaotic and hectic. And even though I'm prepping for an art market and trying to get everything done within like this 7-day window of like printing all of this artwork and trimming all this artwork and packaging all this artwork, it didn't feel as hectic. You know what I mean? It felt so different. And I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was about printing my own artwork and trimming my own artwork and getting everything prepped and packaged, but it felt healing. The minute I started trimming my artwork and put that X-Acto blade down on the paper and started moving my hands to cut the paper, I could feel it. I felt like something in me like reawakened. And I'm not trying to be like super philosophical. That's definitely not this video. But in that moment, I felt like something was healed in me. And I realized this is something I actually really, really enjoyed. I really enjoy prepping my art, printing it, trimming it, and getting everything together. And it was just such a beautiful, rewarding experience. And I'm really grateful that I allowed myself to have that moment. And before, with my art shop, Magik Jems, I usually would have print my artwork and ship it out. So now that I'm printing my artwork myself, it just feels so different. And I guess that was part of the process of having my own art shop that I was missing out on. And that's interesting. Having that personal connection to my work and like physically printing it and preparing everything myself, it helped me feel more connected to it, if that makes sense. So this has been a new experience for me. And I don't know, I feel like I'm still learning things along the way. I've been selling my art for like, where are we at, 5 years now? Oh my gosh, actually 6 years, because I started Magik Jems in 2020. So it's been 6 years, and this is the first year where I am like doing all of my stuff myself for the most part, and I really enjoy it. And I also wanted to say that I do have my Magik Jems Etsy shop still up, and it is still pretty much set up for Printful to print and ship my products, even my art prints. I'm not sure like how I want to move forward with that. I know for this market, I'm printing all of my items myself, packaging everything myself, and that's been such a like really cool experience. So I guess going forward, that's something I'm going to think about as I'm in this rebranding phase, what this new era of selling my work online would look like as far as like printing things myself, shipping them out myself. And I guess that's another topic for another day. So enjoy this time lapse of me packaging my art prints.
5 days away from the art market, and today my focus is on getting my affirmation cards completed. Yesterday, I set up all my correct sizes in my files, and today I am focused on getting the prints right. I just got some cardstock in the mail, letter size cardstock, and I'm going to print them borderless because thankfully this printer does print borderless, so it will save me some trimming time today. So first I'm going to print a test print just to make sure all of my colors and everything are correct because I don't want to waste a lot of ink and a lot of paper and a lot of time, honestly, trying to get these done. So once I set up my test page, I'm going to tweak all of my colors and print them all out on the cardstock. My plan is to print 4 cards per page, so it'll be 2 by 2. These are my test prints. I feel like the colors came out pretty good. They're a little bright and oversaturated, so I am going to adjust those. But now it's time to finally print them and start trimming, and I am really excited. I've been wanting to do some form of affirmation cards for a while, and I figured this market was like the best time to execute the idea. So I'm pretty excited about it. I was really excited about how my affirmation cards came out, and I showed my husband one of my cards, and he looked at it and was like, "You're not gonna put your signature on here?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't think of that." So I came up with the idea to put my logo on the back of the card, and since I had already printed them, I just went in and put the cards that were already trimmed and everything into the printer, and they still came out really good. I even wrote little directions for myself for how to flip and rotate it to make sure they're on the right side. As you see, had a few test prints there, but yeah, it came out pretty good. I cut out all the cards and cut the corners, and I noticed that some of the corners were a little wonky, I guess. So I'm just going through and cleaning up some of these corners. And essentially, once I'm done, I will go through them one more time and just to make sure they're good quality. I don't really want to release anything that isn't good. So I'll just gonna have a scrap pile. I'm essentially organizing these piles into good, backup, and not going to use at all. So in the end, I only had a few that I couldn't use. I just couldn't salvage them, but I think they came out pretty good either way. I'll just keep these around the house and give them to friends and family. Today, I got some new goodies just in time to do my first setup for my table at home. I got some acrylic stands for my art prints, and I'm going to use these to start practicing my table setup. I even got a square reader for the market, which I'm really excited about. And I also did a little art table setup today, and I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek, not too much, just so you can get an idea of what I've been working on. I took a little break from art market prep to go visit my mom, and it was a break that I really needed. We did end up going to the store to get a few more items that I needed, and my mom bought them for me, which was so nice. And the next day, I did a quick table setup just to see how everything came together.
Okay, real quick, I know the lighting is horrible, but I got these gray like little stands from Dollar Tree, and this is what they look like when they're completely built out. And I pretty much just kind of like use them to put art on. I also got this little case for my payment sheet, and these cool little acrylic stands for all my art, but you'll see the full setup there. Also these little gold stands for my price sheets as well. And grand finale, I got this for my affirmation cards. This cool little spinner so people can like interact with everything. And this is what I put my affirmation cards on. I'm going to put my logo on this little stand right here. So you guys will see the full setup on the art market day.
So as you may notice, I have thank you cards. And as you also may notice, I already sealed up all of my art prints. So I decided I was going to add my thank you card to the art prints. So here I am adding all of my thank you cards back to all of these art prints that I already packaged and sealed up. So I literally had to go through and redo all of these. But it's okay because now they're done. Y'all, I'm so tired. I was supposed to be vlogging a lot of the stuff that I was doing, but I've been so tired and so busy. I haven't really been talking to you guys. I've been doing a lot of like B-roll and filming my process, but I haven't really taken the time to actually like talk to you guys. So tomorrow is the art market. I got pretty much everything done. The only thing I have to do is go over some of the payment stuff again to make sure like all that stuff is good. But I printed out all my stuff as you guys saw. I trimmed all of the papers. I put my thank you cards and like all the art prints, all those things. As you guys saw, I had to reopen all of those art prints, like 100 art prints, and put thank you cards in them. But it was fine. Now I know going forward. I wish it was something I would have like thought about before then, but now I know to do that first, obviously. But I wasn't going to put thank you cards in there at first. Now I know. I guess I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. I don't know how tomorrow is going to look, if I'm going to have time to really talk a lot. I'm not sure. It is supposed to snow tomorrow. I just found out. So I don't know what the turnout is going to be like, but either way, I'm really excited to just have this experience and to, you know, take the time to like print out my artwork, package everything myself, and doing this whole process of like getting everything together, trimming my prints, trimming all my cards and signage, putting all that stuff together, figuring out my setup, my table setup. All that stuff has been like such a fun experience. And as much as I am like really tired and I feel a little overwhelmed, I don't know if that's the word, but I feel very much like high energy because I've been like moving so much and moving so fast and doing a lot of work this last week. So I'm trying to get to a space where I like mellow out a little bit, calm down a little bit, kind of like reset and recalibrate, kind of like center myself, because I do feel very much like high energy. I don't want to say on edge, but just like, I don't know. You guys know how it is when you have like a deadline and you're going and going and going. I feel like my body is like still in that mode. And I'm like, hey, let's just slow it down a little bit. So it's like 7 o'clock in the evening. I'm going to get up at like 5 a.m. just so I can make sure I have enough time to get everything together. I'm going to get most of my stuff set up tonight, put it all in one place so we can just put everything in the car and head over to the event space. But we're supposed to be there at 8 a.m. to set up. I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know how much footage I'm going to get. I did my best this week to record as much as possible, but there were just some things that I didn't record because like it was a lot. Like, I'm like, I don't know how people vlog every day and record every day. It's a lot. It's a little overwhelming. And I'm like, especially when you have things to do, right? And you have like a deadline that you're trying to meet, like it could be a lot. And I was like, yo, like how do people record every day? I don't know. I give vloggers so much credit, especially when they're preparing for like something that's like, you know, has like a due date or a deadline, because it can get a little crazy. But I was really doing my best to not
have it be like chaotic and hectic and doing my best to like space things out, do a little bit each day to get myself together. So my arm is getting tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. So you guys see, I have been looking really just like head wrap, no makeup, like nothing. But anyway, it's been a week, but it's been really cool. I think I will take some time to sit down after everything and just talk a little bit more about my experience and everything. So I will see y'all tomorrow.
Art market day is here. I got here early at 8 a.m. to set everything up. The event starts at 10 a.m. As you can see, I did not record the setup process. When I got there, we literally just got right to work. This is what I had behind my table. I had my little crystals, my price sheet, my sanitizer, extra thank you cards, and all of that. I recorded a little footage before the market actually started. I will say it was a little dim in there, so it's hard to see though. If you're wondering why there is not a ton of footage from this market or really any footage at all, I am going to give a brief recap in a moment. But here's this picture of me that I was able to get of me at my table with my Find Your Inner Peace shirt. In this next part of the video, I am going to be sharing my thoughts about the market and how I felt going into the market, how I felt at the market, and how everything went. I will say, I just want to give a trigger warning for talk around anxiety and depression. I do get a little deep in this dialogue here, but I feel like it's really valuable to hear. So I hope you stick around. I do go into talks around overcoming fear and dealing with imposter syndrome, being an introvert doing markets like this, as well as dealing with social anxiety again. So I will say it's worth listening to, especially if you're thinking about doing a market of your own. And maybe you are someone who has, dealt with social anxiety, being an introvert or things like that. So stick around. It's a good talk.
At first, I wasn't sure like if I wanted to do more markets. As someone who has like dealt with anxiety and things like that, to like have to be in like a social space for 7 hours. I feel like I started off like kind of like high, like on a high, like really excited, da, 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 da. And then I'm like, either I exerted all my energy or maybe it was like a food. I don't really think I ate enough. But at a point, like middle of the day, I was just like, I'm feeling so anxious. And I literally had to go to the bathroom and just stand in there and collect myself. I just stood in this stall and just I just had to breathe. It's like, I don't know if I just needed time with just to be by myself. It wasn't like a ton of people. Like there were people, but it wasn't like a crazy, crazy crowd of people. It's just like, I think I'm just not used to being around so many people on a regular basis. So I just need to kind of take some time to myself. And that kind of helped kind of like get my mind together. I felt like I was really trying to learn how to like actually talk to the customers when they come up to the table. Obviously outside of like, hello, hi, how you doing? That type of thing. But like actually trying to find like dialogue with certain people. That's something I was like working on, and I got better as the day went on. Obviously, like the nervous energy, I could feel it at points, especially early on when I was like trying to find my groups. Because like I said, this is my first market, and I literally have not even done in-person like customer service. The only customer service that I've done in like 15 years, okay, it's been a minute, has just been with my business, and that's through email, messages, things like that. So like in-person customer service is something I have not done in so long. Like my last customer service job was Subway. And that was so long ago. You're talking like 15 years ago. I literally did the math. I was sitting at the table with my husband trying to calculate. And I'm like, I think it was 2010. Like it's been a long time. So it was a day. I had high moments. I had some low moments. This is just like my honest end of the day thoughts about everything. If you would have asked me like 6 hours ago, if I would do this again, it probably would have been, yeah, no, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again. That's literally what I felt like I was thinking. I wasn't like saying it out loud because like I'm trying to like be in a positive space. I don't want to speak, negativity in the space and the atmosphere. But I was like, there were moments where I was thinking like, yo, I don't know if I can do another one of these. Like I'm ready to go home. I just want to go home. And I know that's so crazy. And I wonder like if other people who have done in-person markets, in-person like selling spaces have felt these things, especially with their first market. Like, is it just me? I don't know. But like I said, like I am really working and doing a lot of work to improve a lot of like the social anxiety that I have. It's a whole nother story that I haven't really talked about, but we're talking like at least for like the last, talking like the last 8 years of my life. Like I feel like I've been like kind of isolated. This is like a whole nother story. I feel like I'm getting too deep outside of the meaning of this video. But like 8 years ago, I got a really hard like diagnosis in regards to my health. And it triggered like a major, major trigger warning, depressive episode. My anxiety, my depression was it was so much. And I isolated myself. It took me years to like get out and be social and be around people again because I was just so much in my head about everything. Like it was just so, so much. So I don't know, like it took me time to like get to a space where I felt comfortable, even just like going outside and being around people again. And now, some years later, I'm just now getting to a space where I feel like I'm trying to get more comfortable being social and being out and being around people. Like I hate to put labels on myself, especially labels that are not like the best, but like I'm socially awkward at times. And I swear it's so weird because when people see me, they may not know by looking at me that I have like these socially awkward tendencies that could come across as or unapproachable or, the RBF. Like, and it's not my intention. I just am awkward. But I'm in this space where I'm at a market, I'm sharing my art. There's no space for like the awkwardness. Let me not say that because that's not true. I should be myself. And if I'm a little awkward, hey, it's just going to be a little awkward. I spent like at least the first half of the market trying to like find my groove and feel like comfortable, like trying to like make not just like small talk, but just like, like communicate, talk through things. I will say even like the first, let's say 1/3 of the market felt good. It was literally just this middle point where I got really anxious out of nowhere. Like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I've never done this before. Why did I think I could do a market? Like the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome showed up. The self-doubt showed up when I wasn't feeling that before. Even like this morning, even like leading up to it, I was like really excited. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm going to do my first art market. But I swear by the middle of the day, I don't know what it was, but like something switched and I start feeling super anxious and doubting myself. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not doing a good job. Like, I don't know how to talk to people. I am like struggling to like connect with people or I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what am I doing here? I'm never doing this again. I want to go home. Like these negative thoughts were like in the back of my head and it was like really messed up with my head. And I don't know if anyone else has dealt with that. Anyone who has dealt with social anxiety or just general anxiety or social awkwardness or just being in like spaces with a lot of people, especially people you don't know. I guess introverts. My introverts out there, have any of you guys ever dealt with stuff like this where you're in a space where it's the time to be like extroverted? And I have my extroverted tendencies. Like when I'm at home, I'm like, hey, like my husband will tell you, like, I won't shut up sometimes. But like when I'm around people I don't know or around people that I don't spend a lot of time around, I kind of like go in my shell a little bit. I'm trying to be better. And that was one of the reasons why I did this market, to put myself out there, to try something new, to put myself in uncomfortable situations and step outside of my comfort zone. Because like I said, like I'm telling you guys, I feel like I was isolated for so long. Like I kind of like isolated myself. I didn't really talk to people, and very much like hermit mode. If you're familiar with like tarot, like hermit mode on 1000. So I'm trying to get to a place where I'm like feeling comfortable being myself, being my authentic self, stepping outside of my comfort zone, letting my true self shine, just being out there and not being afraid to say, look, I want to do this thing, I'm gonna try it. So the fact that like I was just sitting there thinking, literally the minute we packed up the car and I'm sitting in the car, the heat on because it was cold, it was snowing. Let me tell you how it was snowing. What? I know I live in Chicago, but my goodness, I'm rambling. What I wanted to say, what was I saying before I jumped? Oh, I was saying I was literally in the car just feeling like a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. And I literally was like, this is the most outside of my comfort zone that I have been in a long time. Like I was so far outside of my comfort zone. That's not a bad thing, but it was different. I just saw 11:11 on my timer. So it's a good thing. So I'm trying to have some ease and grace with myself and understanding that this is very new for me. I actually got a tip from a woman that I met at the market. I saw her art and I had to go over there and talk to her. So I met someone, she gave me some tips about like having like little icebreakers when people come to your table. So that was cool. That was something I didn't think of. And I was like, oh, that's actually really good. So it's something to think about, like having different icebreakers or questions in regards to the products I'm selling, to kind of get the conversation going. And that was helpful because it's like, why didn't I think of that? It's my first market. But yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, like I can't sit here and say all these things, preach all these things about stepping out on faith, not staying in your own lane, and then be scared to actually do the things I'm talking about. Like I'm talking about these things on my channel because I'm literally, these things that I'm talking about, these videos that I'm making is stuff that I'm actually like dealing with myself and overcoming myself. Like I'm overcoming imposter syndrome and like stepping out on faith and getting outside of my comfort zone, overcoming fear. Like all of these things are things that are actively like themes in my life at this chapter and stage in my life. But yeah, this video is supposed to be about the art market, but I'm genuinely just telling you guys, like, as I hate to put labels on myself as an introvert doing a very extroverted activity, it was a journey. The second half of the market, after I got over my like imposter syndrome and the self-doubt, was good. The first half, like I said, it was fine, but I don't know why, like my mind started getting really like active and I don't know, just kind of like, I'm scared. What am I doing? Why am I here? What am I doing? The second half was good. I was actually able to talk to a few customers and that was nice. Got to connect with some people. I need to look over my inventory and see like which things actually sold so I can like see in the future about like maybe making those like a more prominent display piece or like bringing in different sizes of certain things. Like someone asked about if I had a different size for one of my prints and I only brought 4x6 and 8x10 because on my Etsy shop, like the work that I've been doing, like through Magik Jems, I use Printful to like print and ship all of my stuff. But now that I have my own printer and printing on my art, like I wasn't thinking like, oh, my printer can print up to 13x9. Maybe I should print, bigger pieces. But since it's my first market, I didn't know how much to bring. I didn't want to bring too much stuff. So I just like, well, I'll just go small, 4x6, 8x10, small, and mini, 4x6. So maybe next time, instead of having such a big variety, maybe I'll do like a lesser amount of designs and just like more sizes. It's gonna take some like work to figure out like the balance between that. Also, it was really cool because like me and my husband were talking, he came up with some like ideas of like different products and stuff. So it was a good experience overall. And that was the whole point. I was like, this is going to be a learning experience regardless, no matter what happened. It was, I learned that I can do it. I can't believe I did that. I really did an art market. That's crazy. Wow. We came a long way. That's crazy. I did that. That's crazy. I would have never done that, but I did it. I'm gonna cry. No, like I'm actually not crying because I'm like getting emotional. I'm just thinking about like how much I've grown and like how much I've changed and healed and done a lot of work to really just like be myself and not limit myself and to just like put myself out there. And so I'm really proud. I didn't expect to cry. But yeah, that's all I have to say. If you guys are feeling like afraid or uncertain about taking the leap, maybe just take the leap. You never know. Give yourself a chance. Give it a chance. Even if it's scary, even if you don't know how it's gonna turn out, like at least it'll be a learning experience, and I feel like you could still get something out of it. So yeah, that's my little spiel. Maybe that's the magic gem of the day, my little positive affirmation. What did I say? Rewind it. I'll put the text up there. Sometimes I get like these little downloads, and once I say it, I forget what I said. So whatever I said, I think just do it. Like Nike, just do it. Take the leap of faith, I guess. Take the leap of faith. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let self-doubt hold you back. Don't let self-sabotaging thoughts hold you back. Okay, I just got one more final thought before I close out because I had to answer the phone. So I feel like I just kind of like rushed off of the video. Overall, it was a good experience. I will do it again. I'll probably research different markets, different types of markets, different niche markets, in different areas and locations. Also different types of events. Like this was a creative festival. I don't think I said that. Chicago Creative Festival is what I did. So yeah, that's the one I did this time. But I may even try like different events that have like different like vendors and stuff like that. Just like play around with different locations, different types of events, different types of audiences, and play around with like my table setup, the products, and my icebreakers, and things like that. So I would try to get a taller chair so I can actually sit up and see people. Because sometimes when people were like looking at the table and like talking about certain piece of art, and I can't really see what they're talking about, so I'm like, let me see. But I did stand up for a lot of it, but it was like kind of up and down and stand up the whole time. Sometimes I would just sit, and I couldn't really like see what they were saying, but I was standing sometimes. But anyway, I stood more than I sat down. I will say that, but I'll still get a taller chair so I can like be a little more higher up and like see people eye to eye a little more. But yeah, I still recommend it. I feel like if you're an artist thinking about doing an art market or show or something, if it's something that's like piques your interest and you feel like it's something you want to do, I say go for it and at least apply, because you just like, you never know. You never know. The experience could be like really, really great. I feel like it's something on my eye. Maybe it's just like a glare. But yeah, like just go for it, because like you literally don't know until you try. Even if you don't know what you're doing, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just kind of figuring it out and winging it. I literally have 3 months to get this stuff together, and I feel like I got it all done within like a month, 2 weeks, a week. But yeah, anyway, y'all, enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, and be blessed. I will say, maybe this is like a Magic Jems part 2. Perspective is everything. No matter what is going on around you, you are in control of yourself. You are in control of how you view the world, how you view experiences, how you view circumstances. You are in control of this. So if you can shift your perspective and not let like the negative thoughts or negativity creep in and try to find the positive in things, I think that could be helpful, especially when it comes to like markets or uncomfortable situations, like shift your perspective if possible. Try to find, even if it's just like a positive affirmation that you keep somewhere nearby where you can see. I actually sell those. I'll put a link down below so you can buy some of like art that has like positive affirmations. Like just having a positive affirmation somewhere close by. Keep it on your phone, like whatever. Just to, like keep you like in a positive state of mind. That could be really helpful, setting a positive intention and different things. So like just to kind of keep a positive perspective. So I will say that perspective is everything. It can literally make the difference in your environment, in your experience, how you view things. So that was something, because I don't know what happened in the middle of this day, this market day, but I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I here? But I took some time to myself in that bathroom and I just breathed and got myself right. I'm like, I could do this. I signed up for this, and I really wanted to do this. So let's just go and enjoy the experience and have a good time. And it went better after that. I will say I was more comfortable. I made sales, and it was just it made me really happy. I'm glad I stuck it out, because I could have let defeat and self-doubt creep in and it would have just been negative the rest of the way. So perspective, try to find a way to turn your perspective around for the better. And yeah, that's it. Okay, y'all. Bye.